If there is one thing that defines our current political era, it is the unprecedented crackdown on government whistleblowers. If the Bush administration's invocation of the little-used state secrets privilege to silence those exposing corruption is taken as the beginning point of this era, we have seen a steady progression throughout the past decade, culminating in Obama's unprecedented war on whistleblowers. As we have explored previously on the Eye-Opener, the Obama DOJ has been relentless in its prosecution of those seeking to shine the light on government fraud, abuse, and criminality. In his first 5 years in office alone, he has charged 8 whistleblowers under the Espionage Act of 1917, more than all other presidents combined. And for those brave souls who do stand up to government abuse and manage to survive the seemingly inevitable court battles and legal challenges, the toll on their career and personal finances is just as severe. Take Thomas Drake, the NSA whistleblower who was himself charged under the Espionage Act and eventually convicted of a misdemeanor charge. Stripped of his security clearance and blacklisted in Washington, Drake has been reduced to working at the Apple Store, where, according to reports, he once served Attorney General Eric Holder as he went shopping for an iPhone. Or take Richard Barlow, the CIA intelligence analyst who blew the whistle on the high-ranking government officials who were tipping off nuclear proliferation suspects about FBI stings and helping them to ship important nuclear weapons technology to Pakistan. He was fired from a position at the DoD after raising concerns about how his reports on Pakistan's nuclear capabilities were being altered by his higher-ups. Despite being called one of the most brilliant analysts I've ever seen by the State Department Inspector General, and being vindicated in a 1997 IG ruling that restored his security clearance, his career was scuttled and his family torn apart by a systematic campaign to smear his name and disrupt his marriage. The campaign worked. Barlow was unable to continue working as an analyst, his marriage ended in divorce, and in 2005 he was tracked down by researchers working on the story of the AQ-Con network to a motorhome in Montana, where he was living with his 2 dogs. Sadly, these stories are not the exception in the annals of modern-day whistleblowers. They are the almost universal rule. In fact, as Sibel Edmonds has demonstrated from her own personal experience, whistleblower organizations are actively sought out and bought off by the influential corporate foundations almost as soon as they appear. In a 2011 interview on Global Research TV, she explained her own experience forming the National Security Whistleblowers Coalition to bring together whistleblowers in their own independent organization.
And when we did that, initially, it was very interesting. We were approached by people connected to various foundations, the Soros Foundations, the Hewlett-Packard Foundations. They came and they said, well, what you're doing is great. This will bring lots of publicity, all these whistleblowers banding together, but you need to do it more professionally, like Pogo does. And these are the same people who've been funding Pogo and Gap. You need to have a PR person in-house. Sibel, you are not a PR person. You have no idea what PR is. And I didn't, really, at the time I didn't. You need to have analysts. You need to have board of directors, board of advisors. I said, well, we are each other's advisors. We have gone through the experience. And interestingly, none of these organizations have any whistleblowers in their board of directors, board of advisors. They are whistleblowers organizations without any really whistleblowers within their organizations. And then you need to do fundraising so you can have office, because if you have raised your voice this much without having these elements, imagine how much more you can do, how much more power you can have with the Congress. It all sounded good, but very quickly I realized that these money, that these carrots that they were dangling before our nose, these foundations, came with a bunch of strings and attachments. Because as I was talking with these people, with foundations, I was adding more whistleblowers. And in one case, one whistleblower from Clinton previous administration joined the coalition, who had blown the whistle on Al Gore and some narcotics-related issue case within the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA. When I added this particular whistleblower, and he's still there on our list, these foundation people came and they said, why are you adding the Clinton administration whistleblower? Right now we are focused on Bush administration. This is distraction, and you should just limit to all these current wrongdoings and don't get into all the Clinton stuff. And basically this was just one example of many examples.
The This video is brought to you by the subscribers of BoilingFrogsPost.com. For more information on this and other topics, please go to BoilingFrogsPost.com. For more information and commentary from James Corbett, please go to CorbettReport.com.